Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Whimsical Dark with KL Patrick. So happy New Year, everyone, and this will be, I guess, the first video of this year. I wanted to record more than this, and I racked my brains on what, story I should speak on, and I made the decision to go with this gem, The Stranger, by Jim Donahue. It is a very interesting take on some different classic tropes. You have, it's a horror western, which is very weird in its own ways. So it's like, how do you constitute that? Really, it's very, very simple. It's set in the Old West, and Josh Lemmings is lost his parents. And he saw them gunned down on his front porch when he was 9 years old. And that leaves a lasting impression with him. This very nice reverend ends up taking care of him, but there's something just not right. You have the typical kind of Western villain in Mr. Morgan. There's also a vampire, which is very crazy. And it's not done per se in the way that you expect it to. It's one of those things where you just keep waiting to meet who the stranger is, and you keep thinking you know who the stranger is. Is he the vampire? Is he someone else? You get the sense that Morgan is the big bad, but you don't know completely what is going on. And it's all takes place in Wyoming, so it's the Old West. There's shootouts, there's very bad men, there's ranches, there's basically anything you could think of, like, think the old, like, Rawhide and stuff like that, where people have things happen, but then you add a horror twist to it. Once you add that twist to it, it hits so different. It's one of the most unique uses of the vampire trope that I've ever thought, or not ever thought, but ever read. It was very innovative. It's written very cinematically to where you are kind of there. And like, besides that, look at that beautiful cover done by Savannah Fisher. And then there's these beautiful, like the parts, edges and stuff. It's such a pretty and fun book, and you follow Josh and the Reverend and Lorelai, who shows up later, and mayhaps could be in a future sequel, which Jim is a good friend of mine, so he's mentioned that there might be one, which is really cool. So I think, like, most importantly, everybody should check this book out because it's definitely worth it. And this is his debut novel. He has a lot of other stuff that he wrote, and it's like mostly novelettes. One called Blood Diamond, which is really good. It's a baseball horror, which is interesting. There's Unliving Legends, which is a fun, like, different take on, like, the 1960s, zombies movies, like George A. Romero, esque way of doing it. So that's really cool. And I'm really glad, like, he ended up releasing this, because I read an early version of this and I knew that it was going to be great. And it's it's crazy. And I'll just read, I'm going to read the little end of the blurb on the back. What will happen in the town of Spectre? Who will survive the final showdown between man, vampire, and demon? And the biggest question, who is the stranger? So there's so much going on in this book, and I think everybody should read it. Like, it's so unique, and if you love the horror genre, even if you're not into westerns, like, it's very, I don't know, it's kind of intoxicating, like the way he paints the picture, the way he created these characters, and it's heartbreaking in ways, just as every good Western is. It's not about good versus bad, there's the gray, and I think he did a phenomenal job with this, and I bet you one thing, you won't figure out who the stranger is. Now, if you do, go ahead and comment. If you read it, let me know. Like, I'll be looking in, and it'd be really cool to see if someone figures it out before the end, and I doubt you will, because it's not what you expect at all. So, that's it for this week. I will give a little update on my own writing, because I've mentioned, The Disappearing of Three Forks and my work. I'm about to start querying a novel, which is finished, so that's exciting. It will be my first full novel, and then I have the sequel to Three Forks already written in a collection coming out, hopefully in February. So it's been really cool. So at the end of these, I'll give slight information on that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys go check out Jim Donahue's work. And not just The Stranger, check out all of it, because it's phenomenal, and I have the rest of them sitting on my couch, because I got one of each of everything he's written, and I can't wait to, he says he's got some stuff in the chamber, 3 novels and maybe something else. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that that's what's going to happen, and that'll be really cool. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.